So what's going on YouTube? My name is Veluccio, and after doing the last video I made, which was about the Reddit stop manhwa, I have decided to actually go back and put all of the manhwas, manhwas, mangas I've read for 2024 into a tier list and try to rate them all. Like technically there are 125 mangas that I've read and that are like the images of them are here. But I'll probably only do like 20 between 25 to 50 in this part and maybe continue it in like different parts throughout the next like 2-3 weeks. Okay, so let us begin. The Wonderful Regression of the Max Level Player. This is honestly a manhwa that I barely hear about, barely hear people talking about. I feel like it's probably because it only has like 40 chapters for now and we are still waiting for like, the next season. I fucking remember it so vividly, man. It was so good. It was so much fun to read. There's so many different elements to it that are just perfected, man. The slight BL ins, the slight psychopath character that gets introduced like 11, 12 chapters in. The story itself is actually interesting because you see the main character actually learning from the mistakes of his past regressions and actually becoming stronger based on them and using all of his and actually using his knowledge, unlike for some reason most regression manhwa that completely ignore the fact that the regressor actually has knowledge and it gets like bit by the most random dumb stuff that should have never bit him, like ever. So to me, because of all of that, it's a solid A tier, maybe even S. No, it's top of A tier for now, I'll say. After 10 million INL, what can I say about it, man? It's such a fucking mimi manhwa, man. It's so meta. This manhwa is the definition, in my opinion, of meta. The fucking chapter that was like very late into it, but when one of the like guy that you thought there's going to be like maybe somewhat of a main villain or something along those lines, cause he like gave that vibe, and you thought, oh, it's probably going to be the average manhwa villain, which going to fucking yap at us for like 2 chapters until we'll actually get to see the fight that was supposed to ensue afterwards, and nope. MC literally just said, "Shut the fuck up!" Punched him in the face, which literally threw him into a wall. And that was like 2 panels, and then we actually continued with the actual fight, and that was so good. What can I say? Fucking ass tier, man. This is the definition of meta done right. Like, this is so meta, and it's done so fucking right. Okay, this is my personal favorite, I think, of all time. The name of this manhwa, it sounds so like edgy. I mean, not this name, the actual name I saw it with, which was The Dark Magician Transmigrates 66,666 years later, and the picture it had on the site I read it on, both made it look so fucking edgy. So when I still remember how I first even got into it. I was literally in the mood of like, okay, let me see what the fuck this is. I was in a very open-minded mood and I kind of wanted to read something edgy and brainless. And then I got thrown into the best manhwa I've ever read. Seriously, like, it gets me to care about every single character in this manhwa. It gets me so hyped in every fighting scene. It gets me so fucking happy when it's high, when it's low. It gets me sad like it should be, and it's chef's kiss. Seriously, ignore the name, ignore the fucking edgy picture. You'll probably see it on most sites, and just give it a go. It's so fucking good. Because of this, it gets my absolute favorite tier. Now, after two bangers, and I'll say a pretty good show, a pretty good manhwa as well. We are going back to, oh right, this was a manhwa. This was a manhwa of all time. And don't get me wrong, Absolute Necromancer is not bad, but it's like after you read like a certain amount of chapters in, you're like, okay, so this is like just a story, huh? And it's just not done. It feels like whoever the editors I was responsible for this one, it was the definitely second end team or third team. It's not the main team. because it's just not done that well. It's good, but it's like it's like B or C tier good. I think for now I put it in C tier because I can't really think of anything else for it. By the way, just so we are clear, absolute favorite means it's at the very least like a 9.2 out of 10 for me. S tier means it's from 8.4 to like 9.2. A means it's like from 7.5 to 8.1, 8.2. B is just 7. It's like the most average 7, and C is whatever below 7 till like 5, 4, and F it's like, fuck this shit. I actually regret I've ever even read this manhwa. Just to make it clear. Okay, Academy's Genius Swordsmaster is like the definition of I have nothing bad to say about it, but at the same time I don't have too much good to say about it. It's kind of brainless fun. I'll give it a little bit of background. It's like the main character is like supposed to be like cursed, so he can't actually earn his magic, but because of that he has like stronger physique. And like in his previous life he was fighting against like the Star Cult that was very I don't know, we saw very few flashbacks of his past life, and his past life it seems like he never actually learned how to use mana, but just perfected his physique to the point where where he was one of the strongest people despite not having the mana. And in this life, like you slowly see him improve, and eventually will probably see him also unlock mana and just become even stronger, because why the fuck not, I guess. It's just brainless fun for me. And because of that, it's like, I want to give it B, but it's like low A, low A. Oh boy. Is our first manhwa of this list. Apophysis. Apophysis is, in my opinion, Apophysis peaks early, and then it just starts to go downhill from there. Like it peaks until, for those of you who don't know Apophysis is a manhwa with like 1.1 or 1.2k chapters. I dropped it in like 1k chapters in. Because I'll be completely honest, it kinda peaked in the first 250 chapters. And then it just slowly but surely started to decline. Like every 50 chapters I say it like lost another like 0.3, 0.4 points for me. From like being an 11 say like 8.5 or 9 out of 10, it literally started dropping slowly but surely until you reach like chapter 1k and you're like, okay, this is the most 5.5, this is the most 5.5 to 6 out of 10 manhwa, and it's like, it's alright if I wanted to have, like if I didn't get introduced to more manhwas, I'll probably think this is actually fine, but because of that, it's like, it's still as it speaks, so I still give it a B. I still enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the episode of Necromancer, but it's just sad, it's just absolutely sad. What happens to it the more, like this is the sort of manhwa I say that like running for too long ruined it. Okay, Academy is Magic Blanket. We don't have a lot about this, because so far this manhwa actually only have like 20, I think like 48 chapters, I think, or 47 chapters when the season ended. I mean, for now it just feels like we're seeing the world building stages. And to me so far it actually feels very good. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's like not a guilty pleasure, it's just very fun to read. It's a very fun and solid, I'd say, beater. There's nothing bad I can say about it. It's just slowly building itself up, and I'm very excited to see what we'll get in the next season. Maybe in the next season it will actually become extremely hyped as well. Because the latest chapters were pretty hyped, but of course they fucking went with the XDD. Now it's the season end, yeah. Cause why not, bruh? Okay, Boundless Necromancer. No, Boundless Ascension, if I remember correctly. That's the name of it. This is the definition of it started good but got so bad. Like holy shit, man. I remember reading this, I think it was one of my first manhwas, and I loved it a lot in like the first 20, 30 chapters, because like I started reading this as it was coming out, and I was like, the first 20, 30 chapters were like great, but then the art started to becoming worse. The story became very repetitive. Even if I can ignore the repetitiveness, it was just not that interesting anymore when I started reading more manhwa and realized, oh, I don't need to do this to myself. I don't need to read this thing. I can actually read good manhwas. And then, from ranking this like a 7 out of 10, it dropped to like a 5.8. I'm like, oh, it's just not that good. Okay, Childhood Friend of Zenith is surprisingly getting extremely better with each chapter. I thought it would be very normal. Oh, he died, now regressed into his former self and oh, of course, previously was one of the top people, but he got killed by the actual top person. Cause yeah, but actually so far it's very fun. It's taken, in my opinion, a more original route, which is actually just same like being raised slowly, getting more friends, getting to like open up from his very edgy, closed self. And the fucking art style is peak. I don't know which fucking studio works on this, but holy shit, the last like 2 3 chapters, the moment in it where like the art style peaked, it peaked. But like hard, it was so good. And for that I'd actually say yeah, I'd say it's somewhere like it's about the same for me as Magic Blinker. It's so good. It's good. The story feels like it's trying to like build the world and build the characters up, which I actually quite like. Because a lot of manhwas for some reason forget to actually build the story, build like the actual storyline, and just immediately goes into fighting. Yeah, let's fight. Which don't get me wrong, I also like, but I'd rather have some sort of world building before we go immediately to the Pepega fights. Oh, this is like so good. Like this is honestly the top of the A tier. Top of A tier if not low S. The Chronicles of the Demon Faction started as what I thought would be a very average the top assassin, if I remember, that was his name. The top assassin was part of the top 10 strongest people in Murim. Turns into the third disciple of the demon lord. I thought it's going to be very boring. Like not boring. I thought it would be like brainless fun. But no, this shit has story. It has world building. It has character building. Like holy shit! Like you start thinking like the demon lord is just like he's just a very strong person. But no, the more you actually read it, you realize, oh, he has so much character behind himself. Even the main character, like you see him realize that no, is wrong, is the ways of his past, like the ways it was raised in the past as an assassin, like all of the cultivation techniques he learned are actually not the best. Yes, he became one of the top 10 strongest people in Morim, but it's more accurate to say in the orthodox Morim, because the demon faction just never, because the demon lord is being said to be so ridiculously powerful that then you see like the comparison between him and the demon lord and you realize, oh, they only meant like orthodox top 10 because he's clearly not close to even being as powerful as the demon lord is. And it's just so good, man. I genuinely recommend everyone to fucking read this. Honestly, low S still. I will give it low S. It's so good. Okay, Chronicles of the Martial War God or whatever the name of this was. It's Chronicle of the Martial God. It's just slice of life, wholesome, more in manhwa, man. It's just wholesome. Seeing him raise the kid is so cute, and it's so funny when like the fifth tries to steal from him and then gets his ass handed to him. It's just fun. It's so much fun. Like this is honestly just plain as fun. Enjoy it. Like this is a one I'll say read if you like wholesome one, read it. It's so good. It's so much fun. Demo incarnation. I mean, do I need to even talk about this? This is great. Like this is this is the epitome of like, I mean, it's literally the hero of the past getting killed, reincarnates, and then learns that people actually view him as a fool and as a dumbass, despite the fact that he was actually just a very hardworking dude. And then you see him being born into the family of the actual top hero from his period of time, like being born into that family, and now he's actually getting like being able to use the advantage of an actually good body, good cultivation techniques, and I'm so excited to see where it will go from here, because the chapters we did get, holy shit, the art, the story, the fights were so fucking peak. Please give me more. Come back already, damn incarnation. Please give us the next season. I beg you. Talent following a mage or demon devourer is I mean it starts very good, gets somewhat boring for a little bit, and then gets good again. It's like the most 7.5 out of 10 manhwa you can think of. It's like here. It's like yeah, in my opinion. It's good. It's fun. You basically see. I'll actually argue that this is the chronicle. This feels more like a chronicles at certain points, because you basically just see the main character and this demon body that is like in his body, which like tries to take over the main character's body, of course, because this is the average man was trope from back when this just came out. But it's just done in kind of a funny manner. Like the more you get into it, the funnier it, in my opinion, gets. The funnier and more interesting it gets. The latest chapters before like the season ended were pick art, pick fighting scenes, pick everything. But there's also a lot of bad things I can say about it. But I don't want to spoil it too much. So it's solid A. It's solid A. Man, this is this is peak. This is peak manhwa. Why? Not because it's actually that peak story-wise, though in my opinion the story and world building is actually very decent. It's peak manhwa because I fucking love the art style. The art style and like they actually know how to build like friendships, how to show the friendships, how to show like the current situation. The world building is done so well. The only reason why I feel like it's not S is just because I feel it's still not on the level of this or this or this. It's just below. It's like 7.9 out of 10. It's just below the 8. It's so much fun. And the fucking random ass moments of like, again, demon inside of him that like him and the demon are fucking bickering with each other are so funny. Like, give it a go. It's so much fun. Same. Divine Spirit Martian Emperor was fun to read for the first like 50 chapters. Then it just starts getting army and I don't enjoy arm. I don't know, it's just not my kind of manhwa. Just didn't really like it that much, can't fucking lie. Okay, Doctor's Rebirth. Despite me actually giving it a lower score in my like my anime list and anime list and all of that, honestly it's in my opinion the best Doctor manhwa by far. Because you unironically get to one, the Murim aspect, the random fighting, the aspects are very fun as well, but like the doctor parts, like the parts with the actual medical points, are so fucking intriguing and interesting. The world is built so well, the characters are built perfect, in my opinion, even perfected. And it's actually the one manhwa I'm reading, and I'm like, fuck, I'm learning more about like the medical field, and like I also asked some friends about it. They said like I'm learning more about the medical field, and I'm learning like from a medical degree. It's so fucking good. It gets you interested in things that's like in the day-to-day basis you probably won't give a fuck about, but it's done so well that you're like, oh shit, I'm into that. This is fun. Dark Devouring Mages used to be here for me. Maybe it's still here for me, but it's like the lowest of S's. Basically, dude used to be second class magician or something like that, and couldn't get beyond that because he had the disease. It's the same thing as this actually. They both had like a disease that made it so they couldn't really grow too much as a magician. Here it's pretty sure it's because of the family, because of his family. Here it's because he just got unlucky at birth, and because he got unlucky at birth, his family and other parts just got and his family got basically betrayed by the kingdom they were part of, and his family basically fell. So as a last like chance, he got admitted into like the magic academy. But because he has shit physique, he couldn't do anything about it, and eventually he dies, reborn as the same kid, but while he was alive and lived his life as a mercenary, second class or third class magician, which was his pick back in his first life, he found two magic techniques that helped him actually achieve beyond the first class magician, that work better when you're a kid, obviously. So now as a teenager, he basically used those abilities that he found in last life to actually get good. Basically, boss said, I got good. And I don't know, it's just very fun. You actually see him slowly become a noble person again. The kingdom actually helps him again. But honestly, the best fucking part, like the most insane part about this manhwa is, holy shit, the fucking art style and the fighting scenes or when he learns new spells are insane. Like, I'm pretty sure it's by Rida Studio, and if it's not, I'm sorry, but if it's at the studio, they fucking cooked with the art. Like, that's crazy. Dungeons Odyssey, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's the best probably world building I've ever seen in like this type of manhwa. Bo basically builds his own like base inside a dungeon, inside his own dungeon, and yeah, you just see him slowly gets better and better. And it's like basically imagine not tower fighting defense, not really a good way to put it, but it basically just gets better and better. He like summons more minions, summons stronger minions, and eventually like gets stronger and stronger. And I don't know, it's just very interesting when you read it. It's very well to explain. Existence. Hmm. Can I really rate it? Not really. It's just not my type of manhwa, I'll be completely honest. Like, from what I understood, it doesn't actually have an ending, which is very bad. Like, the ending, from what I understood, felt very abrupt, and a lot of people are not happy with it. But from reading 9 chapters, I can definitely see why probably for some people this manhwa is big. It's just definitely not my kind of manhwa. It basically talks about a creature that consistently reincarnates as a different animal, and throughout the years, the only creature that he actually learned to hate is humans, and then eventually he reincarnates as a human. That's his last reincarnation. He reincarnates as a human, but he has all of the abilities of the past animals and dinosaurs as well that he lived as. But this time he lives as a child who, to say it in the nicest way possible, mentally ill woman. And he also seems very mentally ill, but his mom doesn't really agree personally. What do you think about it, Quietus? What do you personally think about it? Because personally, to me, it felt very real manhwa. It felt like it should have a lot of. The story was great, but execution could have been better. Yeah, I agree. Like to me, the parts that felt weird is like with the officer. From like the chapters I did read, the parts that felt weird was like the officer really like being so targeted on wanting to do that. Although at the same time, I feel like it's also very real because I feel like probably if an officer, or any human for that matter, fucking saw that sort of thing, saw like a person being able to like get shot and nothing happens, or see them move at a ridiculous speed or jump ridiculous height, they probably get very nervous and probably think there's a monster of some kind. Okay, let's move on. I'm ranking this at B, but I can't really rank it. I can't really say that I ranked it. It's good. If it's your type of story, then it's your type of story. For me, it wasn't. Oh, this next one. What can I say about Genius Archer's live streaming? It's good. It's good. I definitely liked it, but the reasons why I liked it are probably not the reason why most people who liked it, or maybe it is. Damn, man, just the scenes with him being sweaty after live streams. God damn, those looked good. Let me just say that, yes. I mean, the story itself was also pretty nice. It was also pretty good. I'll be completely honest. I mostly read it for the fan service. For the male fan service, I fucking love that. The story itself is also good, but like the fan service was great. I'm just being honest. Okay, God's Gambit. This had the most. This had one of the most interesting ideas, executed in, at first, pretty good way, but then the execution of it just got worse and worse. We just got like chapter 40, you literally get a time skip to like 300 years into the future. Like so far, the manual was like until chapter 40. Every time there was a training arc, it wasn't apologetic and actually showed you the training arc, and then they fucking decided to time skip probably the most important training arc for some reason, and after that, it just, in my opinion, gets just not fun. Like to me, it would have been an easy A tier until that one training arc that got skipped and then fucking dropped to like top of C, maybe bottom of B. It's like, okay, that was just unnecessary. Evelyn Demon, Evelyn Demon Instructor is definitely a manhwa of all time. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's actually a finished manhwa, so it's actually nice to read it for those of you who want to. It's finished. It's a very good, pretty sure Gates anime, like Gates regression, not regression, Gates manhwa. Basically, dudes was like, if I remember correctly, an F class, somehow gets sold, basically gets attached to him. That is that is like the master of the mooring world. Was like the heavenly demon in the mooring world, and he basically teaches him as is a disciple now, and there's just a lot of like bickering between the two, which it's kind of funny. Like it's in my opinion more of a comedic one. Yeah, it's like solid A. It's like I'll say it's like here for me, honestly. It's not that I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's the bottom of A. I just think that all of these I enjoyed more. I just feel like all of these I enjoyed way more. I barely remember anything from this, honestly. Heavenly Jewel Master. I remember it being the one manhwa I actually quite liked, but like it just didn't release a lot of chapters, so I just couldn't continue reading it. And then when it started to, I think there was just not a lot of translation. I finally remember it's a pretty decent like B manhwa. It's like here. Now Helmet. I'm not sure how to say its name. It's basically about a boy who was probably part of like some noble family being born with a thing called the Seed of Darkness, which is a very bad thing. It basically means that he's supposed to be, yeah, it's also an S class for me, quite, it's not only yours. Still to the level. It starts showing you like a very interesting fighting scene between him and some hunters of some sort, and then like immediately goes to show you like his actual life. Like basically people who have the Seed of Darkness inside of them gets basically how to say it, gets banished into the Forest of Darkness, which is basically the place where all of the monsters and all of that things exist, with the goal of what I can only guess probably killing the child with the Seed of Darkness. But lucky him, as a child, he got picked by the one monster in that Forest of Darkness or whatever it was called. That was one of the top three predators, but she felt bad for him. So she actually took him in and taught him how to eat, taught him how to be a good person, taught him so many good things, man. Honestly, in my opinion, the best arc for this is still when he was inside the forest and we saw him with his adoptive predator. I think it was like a tiger mom. In my opinion, that was the best part of it. For now, like quite a saying, it's like a joke of all point. For now, it still needs to deliver, but all of the world building, character building we had till now was so fucking good. That, yeah, to me it's a solid S rank. It's like honestly, it's below Dragon Devouring Mage for me. It's below Dragon Devouring Mage. I can't say it's above. The Devouring Mage though, it's just not the same genre. The problem with Doctor is it's not the same genre. It just doesn't feel like the same genre as any of the other manhwas here. Okay, this is so sad. They said the first season of this manhwa was some of the most fun I had reading a manhwa. And then like the author got really sick, so I think he like after finally finishing the first season, he got sick, so he took a pretty long hiatus. And during that hiatus, AI art became more popular. And then decided to start using AI art. And to me, that felt honestly I could have still read it if the way he actually used it was actually a proper way to use it, but no, this shit is so annoying. Cause like sometimes some chapters the AI art is only like, the random scenes where they're just talking, which is like okay, I guess. Cause like the author is a very sick person, so I could have been like, okay, sure, you just want to like make it easier for yourself. But like the actual fighting thing, it was so good. Because like the author is also from Mercury the artist, so like the actual fighting scenes were done so immaculate. And I was so happy. But then for some fucking unbeknownst reason to me, like 2 chapters later, you see the fighting scenes being done in AI art, and it looked so ass. Like it took me out so badly out of this manhwa that I was so sad. Like before, like if I were to read it based on first season alone, I would honestly even give it top of A tier. But because of what happened in the second season, top of C tier. Top of C tier. I can't give it anything above that. Okay, so as you can see, we still have a lot of manhwas. Two manhwas, manhwas, mangas to rate, but my throat feels a little bit hurt, and it's already like a 30 minutes video. So I think that for now I can stop with this part, because we actually have one like absolute favorite, one like SS tier, one SSS tier, and for me, it's so amazing. We have like 6 S tiers, 7 A tiers, 7 B tiers, 4 C tiers, for different other reasons. Don't worry, there will be F tiers here, because there are a lot of shit shows in the manhwas and mangas and manhwas community. There are a lot of shit shows, man. Okay, so for now, I'll say that this is the end of this video, this part. There will probably be future parts, but for now, I feel done because my throat is hurting like hell. So see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and bye bye.